Hello and welcome back to another edition of our TribPreps video series. We are in week 9 and we'll be recapping the final week of the regular season here in the high school football season here. A lot of good stuff happened tonight. We found out what teams are going to be playing in the playoffs for sure. And of course we have conference champions. And so let's just run quickly through the list of scores here. MVC, Logan 30, Toma 7. On Alaska, 17, Holman 10. Obviously, that was the big game of the night. Central had maybe a little bit more trouble than we could ever imagine with West Salem. They win 26-25 thanks to Johnny Davis' last-minute touchdown, 2-point conversion. The SWC, Westby knocks off Rocco in a bitter rivalry over there, 21-8. Arcadia became playoff eligible, 42-8 over Richland Center. Prairie du Chien knocked off Platteville, 42-7. Aquinas wins big tonight, 39-0 over Onalaska Luther. We'll talk about that game a little bit. Over the Dairyland, Blair Taylor wins the Dairyland title with a 48-6 over Pepin Alma. And Melrose Maduro, 42, Independence Gilmington 6. The Mustangs will be going to the playoffs as well. Bangor, of course, handles Caston 53-0. Bangor, of course.
Just a Bangor game.
Just a Bangor game, and just another Carter Horseman game as well.
Yep, another championship.
Another championship. And over the South Central, I mean, GT 70.
Again, talking another championship.
Yep. Adams Friendship 6. GT was up 60-0 at one point.
62.
62.
62 at halftime.
Oh, man.
227 yards rushing in the first quarter.
Wow. And, wow, yeah, I'm still stunned by that score. But Black River Falls, 34, Wisconsin Dells, 0. Another good win for the Tigers. And we're in non-conference. Brookwood knocks off Highland, 21-13. Marshfield took care of Sparta, 24-10 tonight. And DeSoto had 0 issues with Kenosha Christian Life as they win 41-0. And Todd, let's start at probably the game of the night, the game we kind of been promoting big time. Alaska Holman, you were there. Tell me about it a little bit.
Great game. 2 really good defenses. Onalaska had 3 scoring drives. One of them was 58 yards, but the other 2 were very short. A 31-yarder and a 13-yarder. The 31-yarder, I think, was the field goal. The big play in this thing came when Onalaska was up 10-3 in the fourth quarter, and they went up 10-3 with a touchdown at the end of the third. And then you get into the fourth, and Holman fumbled at its own 9-yard line. Onalaska recovers at the 13. The very next play, Nathan Lubinsky goes in for the touchdown, make it 17-3. So down 14 points in the fourth quarter is not where a triple option offense wants to be.
Yeah.
They did get another touchdown. Got down the field on a nice drive, and there was still lots of time left. Obviously, after Onalaska went ahead. So Holman was pretty calm, got their touchdown, got the ball back at the end. Started at their own 9 after a nice punt by Nick Pika. And again, as I said before, the fourth quarter, 1st and 10 at your own 9-yard line with 2.5 minutes left is not where a triple option offense wants to be.
No.
They did complete a couple of hook and ladders in that, one for a big first down, the other one not so big of a gain. To make it a little interesting, they got down to the, I think, 34-yard line. Then they had a holding penalty that brought it back, and then kind of just had to chuck a couple in the air.
Yeah.
Last one they didn't get off. Cam Weber got sacked on the last play, but really good defensive battle between these 2 teams, and everybody I talked to on both sides, talked about what a good game it was. It's obviously a big rivalry game, so if you're home and you're not going to be happy, but I think they even realized that it was a good game and a good show for the 2 communities. Packed house. I mean, there were lots of people at that game.
Yeah, it looked like it. It looked awesome.
Yes, it was really good atmosphere, and it lived up to the hype. Unfortunately for Holman, it just came down to a bad turnover at the wrong time again, and that's what's hurt them in the losses this year, the turnovers. Yeah. And that was the case tonight, and some bad penalties. But Onalaska had some bad penalties early in the game too. They really kind of prevented it from getting anything going.
And we had talked about this Onalaska defense, especially the last week. Just with the job they did against Central the previous week, but this was an Onalaska team that had traditionally struggled against Holman, especially the last 2 years. But
and it's triple option that you, as good as as well as they played last week against Central, much different than a triple option.
Totally different.
And I talked to Connor Haggerty after the game too, and said, how hard is it to keep that discipline, because you have a spot you have to go to. And he said it's hard to, you want to try to be the hero and make the big play, but you can't do that. If you do that, you're going to get burned. So to keep an entire team that disciplined and that focused on what they need to do play after play after play was pretty impressive. I think Holman had a little over 200 yards in the game. Onalaska didn't even have 200.
Jeez, yeah.
So I would say both defenses did their jobs. It just came down to that bad turnover. Holman also, when they were, I think it was tied at 3 early in the fourth quarter, and they lined up to try and kick a 50-yard field goal.
Really?
Brecken Turner, he made a 35-yarder early in the game, and Kowalski was confident in the leg. He second-guessed afterward, making that decision. Not because he didn't think Brecken Turner could make the kick, because he said he made a 44-yarder in a JV game to win the game.
Wow.
And has made long kicks before. Yeah. But it put a lot of stress on the long snapper and the holder. And as he said, in that situation on a 50-yarder, Onalaska's coming at him.
Yeah, exactly.
And
everything has to work perfectly.
Factor all those things together. The pressure on the snapper and the holder. You have to make that perfect on a 50-yarder for sure at the high school level.
Yeah.
And
the kick's already going to be low. The kick's already going to be low.
And the snap and hold weren't perfect as it was. There was a little bit of a delay, and Onalaska got in there and blocked it pretty easily.
Yeah, geez. But yeah, of course, that means Onalaska is your 2019 MVC champion outright.
Yep.
Obviously, that was a goal of theirs to begin with at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And they, took care of business. And very impressive showing. Todd, you were pretty confident in Onalaska's ability. That was your pick to win the conference at the beginning of the year, and they lived up to it.
Yeah, they did. And these were the two teams that I had at the top at the beginning of the year. Again, with a lot of question marks in Sparta, but Sparta certainly played a great year and just still couldn't get their hands on that championship. Now they got to wait at least another year to try and do it.
They were close.
After the kind of season they had, it's got to be disappointing after the season they've had. They lost to Marshfield tonight, and I don't know a ton about that game and how it went.
Yeah.
But going into tonight, having one loss and having it beat Onalaska, 7 points, you really kind of lost a good opportunity here. But Onalaska went out and won the game, so there's not much you can do about it. You had your shot at them and couldn't beat them. So just really good performance on both sides, I thought, and Onalaska comes out of it with the win.
Yeah, and of course Onalaska will, just like Holman, be waiting to see where they will end up tomorrow.
Saturday, find all that stuff out.
Yep, and you can find it, and we'll have it all up to date too. LacrosseReview.com as well to be able to find all that good stuff.
And we'll also find out some groupings of these teams. We don't know that yet. We just know who's in at this point.
Yep, we know who's in.
That'll be on LacrosseReview.com. So if you're watching this between now and then, go back to our website. Once all the groupings come out, we'll have a story up on that.
Yes, exactly. And Todd, let's go over this West Salem, because I think this game, just looking at the score, you go, what? We were talking all week, how would Johnny Davis bounce back? How would Central bounce back? We expected big things, and this was a dogfight until the very end.
This is the first time all season where I just said, I don't think West Salem can do it. They might be done.
Yeah, they must have
every other game. You look at this being an 0-9 team, and it just kind of, I don't say it's amazing, because it was such a good conference this year, and they had a lot of tough games. And you could see, they hung with GET.
They did.
So it gave you some hope if you're West Salem moving forward. They didn't play badly against Holman, I didn't think. It was a 25-7 game, so it's not like it went down to the wire or anything. And then they had some ugly games, and the way Central got beat last week, thought it was going to be a wake-up call, and they'd come in and just kind of do whatever they wanted. But West Salem had other ideas, and from the sounds of it, Central made some turnovers. I'm not sure if West Salem created them or Central made bad plays, but they had 5 turnovers, keeping the game, and scored in the fourth quarter to go ahead, and then Central comes back with 40 seconds left with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to win by a point. So gets Central in the playoffs, and
they're in.
Makes the Panthers winless for the season, first time in a long time.
87, right? 87. Yeah.
But they went down fighting, and they went down fighting with a bunch of young players on the field. So I think they experimented more and more with that as the season went along, and that's going to do nothing but help for next year, I think. They're still going to be dejected after not winning a game this year, but they took Central down to the wire in the last game and almost knocked them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, almost. They sure almost did. It looked like that was going to be the case for a little bit there.
Yeah.
But let's jump over. I was at UWL tonight. Aquinas, really no issues really with Onalaska Luther tonight. Luther, the first half, I think I told Todd earlier, it was about 30 minutes of actual time because Luther had the game plan of just trying to hold on to the ball, run it, and keep Aquinas off the field. Aquinas only had 3 offensive possessions in the first half. They scored on 2 of them. And they were a little frustrated at halftime, actually, Tom Lee told me. And they came on the third quarter and it looked like they were letting out some frustration a little bit and put up 433 rushing yards tonight. Will Cambio, another...
They must have really spread that out because Cambio had, 119?
Yeah, 119.
Led the team?
Yeah, 119.
They had 433. That's...
Yeah, 119 on 8 carries or 7 carries for Cambio, 8 carries for Aiden Lee, another 114. Yeah, 114 yards for him.
There still must have been some other guys with some big runs.
Yeah, Josh Prinza, he had 82 yards on 10 carries, and Matt Rudeman had a touchdown run, 30 more yards too on the ground. So it was a really just a dominating effort from start to finish.
And the other factor with that too is, as I was reading your story, you made the mention of an all-senior offensive line.
Yes, exactly.
So that helps in situations like that.
It sure does. And Aiden Lee probably said best. He said you could have drove any trucks through the holes they had made tonight. And that was pretty much the game right there. And I get Aquinas does good misdirection, that type of stuff, keeps the defense off balance, but that offensive line, dominated tonight, dominated the trenches from start to finish. And it was really good. It was important this was an important game for the Blue Golds because, they already were in the playoffs, but, they took some punches the last couple of weeks against 2 phenomenal teams in Mineral Point and Lancaster.
They had to shake some stink off.
Yeah, they had to shake some stink off, get some momentum going into the playoffs, and they were able to do just that tonight.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was good to see too, and it was good to see it was senior night too. Those guys had been through a lot of those seniors too. So it was good to see them have that moment tonight and really kind of go out on top, I guess, as their final home game there as a seniors. Because like I said, that program, has gone through some stuff the last 3 years with numbers and forfeits, and so it's good to see them be back. But Todd, as we look around here, any kind of other games that kind of really jump out at you?
GET scored 70.
Yeah,
GET.
Exclamation
point on a conference championship, but we touched on that already. I think I want to say surprised that Marshfield Sparta score. Marshfield's a good team, good conference,
beautiful stadium,
good history, and all that. I thought Sparta might fare a little better there in that game. Bangor, of course, having no problem with Cashton, just like Brookwood last week. So they're really rolling going into this thing. In looking at the teams that made the playoffs, watching GET drop to Division 5.
Yeah, drop to Division 5. That was kind of the biggest news.
GET, the biggest Division 5 school in the bracket. Aquinas, the smallest Division 5. But no real surprises in terms of teams that made it. The teams that needed to win tonight in our area all won.
Yes.
So they all got in.
Yep.
So we'll have Holman and Central going in Division 2, and Onalaska and Sparta in Division 3.
Black River Falls,
Division 4.
Good for them too, by the way.
Yeah,
Black River Falls.
I wish we knew more about their team. They
Me
don't
too.
report anything to us.
Me too. Yeah.
If you go to Black River Falls and wonder why it's not in the paper, they send us nothing each week.
And
so
we tried.
We've attempted.
We tried.
GET, Prairie du Chien, Arcadia, and Aquinas in Division 5. That's our biggest division in terms of teams. Again, like I said, Aquinas being the smallest in Division 5 by 6 students. Fond du Lac Springs will be the biggest Division 6 school, and people know plenty about them in terms of that. Melrose and Doro making it in Division 6. We got Brookwood and Cashton and
Cashton, Blair Taylor.
Bangor, Blair Taylor, and DeSoto. So I got another. I guess we're pretty good, stacked pretty good in Division 7.
Yeah. In all, we counted 15 teams.
15 teams. Yep. 15 in the playoffs. Obvious home games will be coming for Onalaska, GET, Bangor, and let's see, Blair Taylor, conference champion. And we're gonna have some teams on the road, which is kind of the way it goes. But you take care of yourself during the regular season, you can, get a couple of home games there, and we'll have some teams that are banking on being able to play at home for a little while anyway.
Yeah, we sure will. We sure will. And like always, you can find everything we do on lacrossereview.com. You can find the groupings when they come out. We'll have a story on that.
Yep.
Tonight or tomorrow, I should say.
That'll be tonight.
That'll be tonight. Okay.
Sure, will, yeah.
Groupings.
Sure, I'll still be here.
Yeah, Todd will probably still be here because he doesn't sleep. So, but it was a good week of action. We'll be looking forward to next week as well. But like always, everything we have up is on lacrossereview.com. We're at
Facebook feed.
Yep.
Everything goes out on our Facebook feed.
Yes.
Lacrosse Tribune,
Yep.
you can get all that. Come right to you. We were out at 6 games tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So game stories from all of those. A roundup of all the games that we weren't at, except Black River Falls tonight. So you can get on top of everything. And obviously with this video, we shared a lot here, and we'll have more next week to get ready for the playoffs, and more on our website over the next couple of days, and some good advanced stuff for playoff games next week.
We sure will. Well, like always, my name is Alex VandenHouten, and to my left was Todd Sommerfeldt. And for us, that'll be all for us tonight. Take care, and we'll see you back here next week. Thanks.